Urban Pathways has a very comprehensive approach to homelessness. There are approximately 40,000 people in shelter in New York City today, and another 3,000 to 4,000 people living on the streets of the city. The population that we're most concerned about are those single adults. There are about 10,000 single adults living in shelter and or other services here in the city, and about 3 to 4,000 living on the streets.
Urban Pathways fulfills its mission through a continuum of care model, which is kind of a fancy way of saying that we will help the homeless and the mentally ill of New York City any way we possibly can, in any way that they need it, from reaching out to them and making first contact, to offering showers and food, to providing short-term shelter solutions, medium-term shelter solutions, long-term shelter solutions. We will do whatever it takes to help people get back on their feet or figure out ways to survive with dignity and a sense of hope about their lives getting better and improving.
The work that we do at Urban Pathways really begins with engagement. It really requires individuals who are able to develop a relationship with homeless adults in order to engage them and to begin the process of moving them from the street into housing.
I had Urban Pathways come by one time, wake me up while I used to sleep. And I didn't want to be bothered. I wasn't ready yet, so I just got to get out of here. I don't need y'all, I'm getting enough money from the change people are throwing me in when I'm begging for,
We meet a client on the streets, they're always saying to us, I've been to shelters, they tell me this, they tell me that, they're not safe. Well, we're like, try the safe haven. They come into the safe haven, no one's bothering them, and little by little, they start then accepting those services.
I had a couple of run-ins with the law, and I knew I had to get myself together. And then that's when they came by that time, then I was ready to go.
From there, we work on getting them permanent housing. This could be through a supportive place like Ivan Shapiro, as well through our scatter site program, where independent apartments.
Homelessness is one of those social problems that we absolutely have a solution for. It's not as complicated as it may appear. The reality is that homelessness is simply a matter of helping people access housing that they can afford. As of today, Urban Pathways has in development 247 units of affordable supportive housing in 4 different projects in Manhattan, Queens, and 2 in the Bronx.
We had one client who was homeless for over 40 years. This individual was a veteran that served in the United States Army, and he was a chronic alcoholic who also had untreated mental illness. And from working with our outreach teams, he eventually accepted safe haven placement, and now for the last year, he's been permanently housed.
I was homeless for 6 years, and now I have an apartment in the Bronx, and I'm so happy.
The reason why Urban Pathways is as effective as it is, the reason why we are a leader among homeless services organizations, comes down to one word, and that is staff. We have the most dedicated, motivated, hardworking staff in the business, and that's saying something.
I've been involved with homeless outreach for the last 11 years, and I love this work.
I absolutely love working with the clients that we serve. I get so inspired by their resiliency, by their energy, by their honesty, by their willingness to keep struggling when all things look like they're just not possible for them to achieve.
There's a selfish aspect to getting involved with volunteerism and nonprofit board work that people don't talk about, and I think they should. Like, I'm a better person for the people I associate with at the Urban Pathways board meetings. I'm not 100% sure they would say the same thing about me, but that's another story entirely.
The most exciting part of it for me is watching that transition. Seeing a client move from being on the street to having their own place and the pride that they have once they've been able to accomplish that.